This is the story of a sculptor who turns the small, everyday gestures of life into public language. Her name is Maya van Hal. Born in Voorburg in 1937, she trained at The Hague and at the Rijksacademie in Amsterdam. From the beginning, she worked with the human form, but she treated it less as portrait than as witness, a way to keep memory and labor visible. Over the next 14 minutes, we will walk her studio, look closely at her surfaces, and pause before the public works that ask a city to see ordinary life differently. We will listen for the rhythm of her hands and for the quiet choices that make her work feel both intimate and civic. Let us begin. Maya van Hal was born in Voorburg in the Netherlands in 1937. She studied sculpture at two of the country's key institutions, the Royal Academy in The Hague and later at the Rijksacademie in Amsterdam. Those schools taught her the old trades: anatomy, modeling in clay, plaster casting, the patient habits of measurement and repair. She came of age in a post-war moment when European artists debated representation and abstraction. While many peers moved toward pure geometry, Van Hal stayed loyal to the human figure. But she refused literalism. Her figure compress, gesture, and become emblematic. She settled and worked in places like Noordwijk and Arnhem, and her work entered municipal sculpture trails and regional museum collections. This regional presence is important. Her art was made for neighborhoods as much as for galleries. A few themes recur in Van Hal's work. First, the domestic as dignified subject. She makes housewives, workers, people washing, people embracing, the private life given public weight. Second, scale as commentary. She enlarges diminutive statuettes into life-size figures, sometimes playful, sometimes gently ironic. And in that scale shift, she asks the viewer to reassess who deserves monumentality. Third, surface as biography. Van Hal leaves tool marks and rough modeling evident. Her surfaces read like pages of a life, scraped, smoothed, weathered. The marks are not accidents, they are words. Across these themes, the sculptor's voice is humanist. She treats vulnerability and labor with empathy, and she crafts objects that invite encounter, not only observation, but touch in the imagination. Technically, Van Hal is rooted in classical practice. She models in clay and wax, makes plaster molds, and uses the lost wax process to cast bronze. For larger public works, she adapts. Polyester, armatures, and welded metal come into play. The lost wax sequence, model, mold, wax, investment, melt, cast, chase, and patina, is for her not a ritual of repetition, but a way to carry the immediacy of the original gesture into durable form. Patina is more than color. It is the voice that time gives the metal. Her choice to keep tool marks visible, the scraping, the thumb dents, the uneven plane, is deliberate. It preserves process and invites the viewer to read the work as record. Her surfaces are tactile languages, rough where memory is dense, smooth where quiet is needed. Van Hal's work has a steady civic footprint. She participated in high-profile public sculpture programs, for example, Den Haag Sculpture, and her works are cited in towns like Gouda, Aalsmeer, Utrecht, Ulft, and Noordwijk. Museum Arnhem documents a key polyester/bronze piece in its holdings. Critics and curators often describe her as a regional pillar, a sculptor whose practice is honored in municipal collections and sculpture trails. Her market presence is modest but steady. Small editions appear at auction and in private collections. Importantly, her work frequently arrives at the point where public policy, memory, and daily life meet. A town accepts a Van Hal more readily than it accepts abstraction. because her objects speak clearly to neighbors and passers-by. How should we approach Maya Van Hall's work? From a distance, these sculptures are composition and gesture. Up close, they are archive, tool marks, weld seams, patina, the memory of hands. The work changes with distance, and that change is the point. Her sculptures ask a city to remember the small labors, the care, the everyday intimacy that often goes unnamed. She makes monuments not of grandeur, but of recognition. That is a distinct kind of public art, quiet, insistently humane. If you want to see her work, visit municipal sculpture trails and regional museums in the Netherlands. Museum Arnhem, the parks of Gouda and Utrecht, the public squares of Noordwijk. Look for the small bronzes in collections and for the life-size figures in the streets. Thank you for listening. If you'd like, I will generate an SRT file, a 2-column editor cue sheet, or a shorter radio edit of this script, ready for your voice actor or 11 Labs production.